Our witnesses being here today. I remain extremely concerned about the recent allegations regarding the treatment of migrants at the Yuma Border Patrol Station. I'm committed to fixing our broken immigration system, finding solutions to the ongoing crisis at our southern border, and ensuring that migrants are treated fairly and humanely. The recent reports regarding what happened in Yuma clearly indicate we need to do better on all those fronts. So I look forward to our witnesses shedding light on how CBP can do better and how Congress can help do better. My first questions are for Mr. Morgan. As you know, a big part of the problem at Yuma seems to be communication between HHS and CBP. The news of the Yuma allegation broke because NBC News obtained incident reports put together by HHS case managers after migrant children had left CBP custody. But it's unclear to me if the HHS information flowed into CBP in an efficient manner and in a way that CBP could then take immediate action to ensure the well-being of these children. What steps is CBP taking, or have you already taken, to improve the response and ability to respond in a timely fashion to allegations that come through HHS?
So Senator, you're right. I think there's definitely an area where we can improve the flow. There's an old saying, justice delayed is justice denied. And so I think we can get better at that. Once we saw that article, we actually immediately worked with the IG. There were 3 separate allegations contained in the article. One of them had already been opened and was already being worked by the IG. The other 2, based on the article, we opened up our own investigations. And then we went to HSS OOR to ask them about the alleged 30 that were contained in the article. And what we found is that on a consistent basis, OOR sends those to CRCL, Civil Rights, Civil Liberties Division, which is good. That's another layer of oversight it needs to be, because some of the allegations aren't always specific misconduct employees and may say, hey, our cell was too cold or too hot, which still needs to be looked upon and actioned. And so then we coordinated with CRCL. We found out through this process that 381 entries had been made by ORR with respect to a series of allegations. We actually obtained all 381. OPR triaged those, and because of that, we opened up 23 additional investigations. Now, having said that, the bottom line is what we're trying to do is work with CRCL and HSS OOR, and what we asked them to do, and they've agreed, is as they send it to CRCL, they also send us those significant activity reports directly to CBP OPR, so we can action them right away.
So, Commissioner, then you're getting them in real time as of today?
I can't speak as today, but that is the end state, and we're working with them.
Okay. My second question is, as I understand, the information from HHS, as you said, enters DHS through the CRCL or through the OPR, the Office of Professional Responsibility. But when OPR receives the series of allegations, how do they use that information to prevent additional incidents? So what did they do to take action, one, to protect the alleged victims at the time, and then also to prevent that same behavior from allegedly occurring to other individuals? And what mistakes were made in this overall communications process that you all have learned from that you can fix and change for the future?
So through OPR, we also work with them, and so it's not just about the investigations, but then it's also, once it's been adjudicated and effective discipline has been handed down, we also look at that and analyze that and then take that back to the field to see, hey, are there other areas that we can improve upon? So it's not just about handing down the discipline, as you said, it's about taking corrective actions to get better at what we do to try to prevent any other incident from happening in the future. As far as the coordination and control, again, I think it's, as I explained, it's continue to work with CRCL, it's continue to work with HSS OOR to make sure we have a streamlined system as far as reporting. What we've asked them to do is give that, and that goes directly into our JIC that I talked about a minute ago, and then it gets actioned immediately.
And for children who've alleged sexual abuse, that obviously is quite different than an allegation that a cell is too cold or someone doesn't have a blanket. One, you rectify by changing the temperature and providing a blanket. The other, alleged harm may have already occurred with the resulting trauma that comes from that. What actions are taken to provide appropriate mental health care to children who may have been traumatized by these alleged sexual assaults?
Again, so I would have to refer to HHS OOR, because once the release from our custody and that allegation is made, as far as continued care for that child, it's really outside our purview.
My next question is from Ms. Costello. According to the news reports, we just mentioned, there were 30 allegations of issues at the Yuma facility that flowed from HHS to DHS. Did your office get to see all of these complaints right when HHS transmitted them to DHS? And from your perspective, how could the information sharing between HHS and DHS, as well as between components of DHS, be improved?
Thanks for the question, Senator. We did get your letter on this matter. I think Mr. Morgan has accurately described this process, and I mean, your letter and the news reports caused us to go back and take a look as to how this was working, and he's correct. HHS is getting the allegations to the Civil Rights and Civil Liberties Office, who is passing them on to CBP, and then because of our right of first refusal, they're coming to us. We're going to start taking a look into that as a result of your letter. I think my staff is scheduling a meeting with your office to see, can that be improved? There was such a large number of allegations here, and I know we knew about some of them. As Mr. Morgan said, we actually opened on one of them. But it does seem to be a more systemic issue, right, that's more appropriate for one of our other offices to start taking a look at as opposed to individual investigations. So we're going to be following up with your staff and to try to get some answers to those questions that you posed in that letter.
Thank you. Back to Mr. Morgan. Strictly from a personnel perspective, what changes need to be made so that CBP can more effectively manage the overcrowding that we are experiencing at some of these facilities? Do we need a different mix of people working at these facilities, more training? Do we need more social workers, more medical personnel? What is it that we need in order to address allegations and prevent them from occurring in the future?
Well, man, two different things. Allegations or the overcrowding. The overcrowding, I'll continue to go back to, we need Congress to pass meaningful legislation to stem the flow, and that will impact the overcrowding. But specifically to the allegations of misconduct, again, I'll go back. I think that these allegations are rare instances, although one is more than enough. And again, we're committed to working with CRCL, IG, to make sure that those cases are investigated thoroughly and the appropriate disciplinary action is taken, and that those individuals, the best our ability, are removed from those areas right away.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My time's expired.